Patita pavana tomo vineke honai. Oh. Pratijan me kori asha chanera duli. Narotame karo daya apanaraboli. Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai go together. Yeah, Nitai. 58. Oh. Nitai pada kamala koti chandra shushitala.
Nitai pada kamala koti chandra
Shushitala Jai Jai Jagata Judai Tajudai Heno Nitai Vine Pai Radha Krishna Pai Tenai Pai Tenai Drida Kori Joro Nitai Paya Se sambandha nahi chara Vita janma kelo tara Se pashu bodo durachara Nitai na bolilo muke Majilo samsara suke Vidya kule ki kori betara Betara Ahankare mata hoya Nitai pada pasariya Asatyere satya kori mani Nitaye karuna habe Radha Krishna Pave. Todo Nitaya Charandukani. Kani. Nitaya Charana Satya. Tahara Sevaka Nitya. Nitai Pada Sadakoro Asha. Narotama Bodo Tuki. Nitai More Koro Suki. Rakoranga Chara Nirapasha. Nirapasha Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Nirada Kama Shushi Jai Chaya Jagata Judaya Naya Heno Nite Vinay Pai Radha Krishna Paite Nai Dira Kodi Doro Nita Pai Nita Pai Oh Jaya Nityanandaram Jaya Nityanandaram Nityanandaram Jaya Nityanandaram Nityanandaram Jaya Nityanandaram Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai. Nityananda Prabhu. The lotus feet of Nitai are as cooling as millions of moons. Their shade gives solace to the entire universe. Without a personality such as Nitai, O brother, it is not possible to attain Radha and Krishna. So firmly take hold of his lotus feet. If someone does not establish a relationship with Nityananda Prabhu, his human birth is wasted. Such an animalistic person is very wicked. Not uttering the name of Nitai with his lips, he drowns himself in the so-called happiness of the material world. What then can his education and pedigree do for him? Maddened by false pride and forgetting Nitai's lotus feet, one considers illusion to be truth. If Nitai is merciful, one can attain Radha and Krishna and Braj. So firmly take hold of Nitai's two lotus feet. The lotus feet of Nitai are eternal truth, and his servitors are eternally liberated. Always aspire to attain the lotus feet of Nitai. Narottam is very unhappy. O Nitai, please make me happy by keeping me close to the reddish soles of your lotus feet.
Page 83. I believe this is 3 beat. So, no, I think it's a 3 beat tune. Yeah. Page 83. Mm-hmm. Oh, then 2 beat. Page 83. Gorapahu Nabajiyamainu Gorapahu Nabajiyamainu Premaratana Dana Helayarainu Premaratana Dana Helayarainu Adane Jatana Kari Danateya Ginu Adane Jatana Kori Apana Karam Doshe Apani Dubinu Apana Kadama Doshe Apani Dubinu Sata Sangha Chari Koinu Sate Vilas Sata Sangha Chari Koinu Sate Vilas Dekarane Lagilo Ye Kama Banda Pash Dekarane Lagilo Ye Kama Banda Pasha Vishaya Vishama Visha Satata Kainu Vishaya Vishama Visha Shatata Kainu Gora Kirtara Se Magana Nahoinu Gora Kirtara Se Magana Nahoinu Keno Vachaye Prana Kisuka Paiya Keno Vachaye Prana Kisuka Paiya Narottama Das Keno Gelo Namaraya Narottama Das Keno Nagelo Maraya Narottama Das Keno Nagelo Maraya Narottama Das Keno Nagelo Maraya Gorapahu Nabajaya Mainu Gorapahu Nabajaya Mainu Remaratandana Elayaharainu Jaya Gora Sitai Jaya Gora Nitai Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Jaya Kali Yuga Panava Gora Hari Kali Bayana Shana Gora Hari Jaya Kali Yuga Panava Gora Hari Kali Baya Nashana Goda Hari. By not worship Maria. Sorry. By not worshipping my Lord Gaurasunda Sundara, I have invited death, and by neglecting the precious jewel of Prem, I have lost it. Attending to worthless trifles, I have thrown away my real wealth. I have drowned myself in my misdeeds. Forsaking the association of devotees, I have sported with non-devotees. For this reason, I am being choked by the snare of my actions. I have constantly drunk the deadly poison material sense enjoyment, and thus I have not become absorbed in the nectarian mellows rusts of Gaur Kirtan. For what happiness does this life continue? Why doesn't Narottam Das simply die?
Gai Goramadusware Gai Goramadusware Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Gai Goramadusware In a very sweet voice, Shri Gauranga sings Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Grihe tako, bale tako, sada Hari bole dako. Sude duke bolonako, vadane Hari nam korore. Gai Gora Madhuswari. Gai Gora Madhuswari. Whether you live at home as a householder or in the forest as a renunciate, constantly chant Hari Hari in happiness or in distress. Do not even ever forget this chanting. Just fill your lips with the names of Shri Hari. Maya Jale Bada Hoye Achomiche Kajaloye Maya Jale Ekono Chetono Peye Radha Madhav Nam Bolore Ekono Chaitanya Peye Gai Gora Madhuswari Re Gai Gora Madhuswari. Bound up in the net of Maya, you're engaged in useless activities. Now, having gained full consciousness, chant the names Radha Madhav. Jivono hoilo shesh nabajile Rishikesh. Jivono hoilo Bhakti Vinod Upadesh एक बार नम्र से मातोरे एक बार गाय गौरा मधुस्वरे गाय गौरा मधुस्वरे Your life is coming to an end, but you have not worshipped Shri Hrishikesh. Please heed this advice of Bhaktivinoda, and just once relish the nectar of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Jayo Hari Nama, Jayo Hari Nama, Hari Nama, Jayo Hari Nama. Jayo Hari Nama, Jayo Hari Nama, Jayo Hari Nama, Jayo Hari Nama. Nitai Gaur Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribol. Nitai Gaur Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribol. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Is it okay? Ali Mohelage? Vrindavana Niko. 169. No, we did, sorry. 164. No, it's not that. Wait. Third time I will make it. 364. JJ Radharamana. JJ Radharamana. Uh, 364. Aha, Bengali bhajan. Okay, okay. We are in Bengal. Sorry, I forgot where we are. Then 1, 2, 3. Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamor Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore জীবনে মরণে গতি আর নাহি মোর জীবন ও জীবনে মরণে মতি আর রাখি মোর কালিন্দির কুলে খেলি কাদম্বের রতন বেদির উপার বসাব দুর্জন রতন Shama Gori Ande Divochua Chandanero Gando Shama Gori Ande Divochua Chandane Chamara Gulabo Gabe Keriboko Chandro Chamara Gulabo Gabe Keribo Mukachan Gati Amalatir Malaf Divo Dunar Gole Gati Amalatir Malaf Adaratuli Adivo Karpuratambule Amar Lolita Vishaka Dichato Chaki Brindo Lolita Vishaka Yati Jata Chaki Brindo Agyaya Koriba Seva Charana Ravindo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasera Das Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasera Das Seva Vilasa Kore Narottam Das Seva Vilasa Kore Narottam Das Seva Vilasa Kore Narottam Das Jayo Radha Govinda Jayo Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jayo Radha Govinda Jayo Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jayo Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Haribo Haribo Haribol Nitai Gaur Haribol Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimati Gurudevi ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Bo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Haribo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya. Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Oh, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura. Oh, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. I go to Premanande.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Todalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Nama Yang Pravarjantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taruha Juhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Vanedos Tang Saravavu Taridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vihena Aparada Lakshay Chaptasya Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripamai Tvang Sharanam Prapadyam Prinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Shilabhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Shilabhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti began, Parati Goswami Maharaj. To our grandfather Guru, Shishimad Bhakti began, Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta, Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. To all his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees. And the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, whom I Shiksha Gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Pan Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So here we are, after all these millions of births, we got to visit Mayapur Antardvip in Navadvip. And we are with, who are we with? We're with a good group. Jiva Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu. And then Ishan Thakur and I think Srivas also joined their party. Srivas Thakur, Vangsi Vadananda, and we're on our way to an amazing place where Sachi Devi resides. So I'm going to start by reading from Navadvip Dham. I hope you can get one, George, and read it on your own as well. Navadvip Dham Mahatmya by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He ends each chapter by saying, Bhakti Vinod, desiring to attain the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and Janavadevi tomorrow, Janavadevi song, is revealing this confidential truth. Nityananda Prabhu told Jiva Goswami, this Sri Navadvip Dham, which extends about 16 kroshas or 32 square miles, is certainly non-different from Sri Vrindavan. In this 16 kroshas, there are 9 dweeps or islands. Just like an 8-petaled lotus flower floats in the water, this Navadvip is also like a lotus flower with 8 petals, but there are 9 islands. How could there be 8 petals? Which are the 8 islands? Antardvip is in the middle, and like a dot at the very center of this Antardvip lies Mayapur. So there's the pericarp, if he said, of the lotus flower. And the very dot center is Mayapur, which is the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He eternally performs pastimes in this spherical form of Mayapur Yogapit. How big is it? The diameter is 1,000 dhanushas, or 2,000 meters. Not very big. And the circumference is 3,000 dhanushas, or 6,000 meters. Even though there are several places situated in Sri Dham Navadvip, this Yogapit is the most glorious of them all, because the Panchatattva, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, and Srivas are splendidly situated here. Very soon, who's speaking? Nityananda Prabhu. Very soon, by the desire of Mahaprabhu, this place will, by itself, become hidden in the water of the Bhagirati. What's the Bhagirati? The Ganges. When, sometime later, Mahaprabhu's desire to manifest the Dham again becomes strong, this radiant Dham will be revealed. The Dham is never lost at any time. Rather, sometimes it remains in a hidden form, and sometimes it's openly manifest. And the Lord is eternally residing in this Navadvip, in this Mayapur, where we are now. Which side of the Ganges is it on? Eastern side. As Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, so Mahaprabhu never leaves this place. Now this is very important. Although sometimes, from a mundane point of view, he goes elsewhere. Like for example, he takes sannyas, and he goes to Jagannath Puri, and he goes to, where does he go? South India. He goes to meet with Ramananda Rai in South India. But actually, it's not Mahaprabhu who goes, it's his expansion. So like 10 always remains in Mayapur, in where are we? Antardvip. But like 8 or 7 or 6 from that 10 goes out, but the 8, 7, 6 is still within the 10. The devotees still behold Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's daily pastimes called Astakaliya Lila. If somebody can get a hold of that, we can read that. Like, what does he do? Like, what does Radha and Krishna do in the 8 parts of the day? We have some idea of that from Bhajan Rahasya and Govinda Lilamrita, Krishna Bhavanamrita. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also has his Astakaliya Lila. You want to read that? All right, we'll do that tomorrow then. So Jiva, if you want to see all these places, then perform parikrama. In this way, all your desires to see the pastime places will be fulfilled. And then Jiva says, yes, please be merciful to me. Please take me on parikrama. Now where are we starting? First day, darshan of Mayapur. O Jiva, today you will take darshan of Mayapur, and tomorrow I will take you to other places. Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu stood up, and the joyful Sri Jiva Goswami followed him, and we're following too. Nityananda Prabhu, overwhelmed with devotional ecstasy, walked slowly, and his divine body was intoxicated with prem for Gauranga. His enchanting form was swaying. Are you picturing that? His enchanting form was swaying with transcendental emotions. And the ornaments, he was wearing ornaments that adorned his entire body, were coruscating, like jingling and moving radiantly. So he's an avadut. He's totally renounced, and yet he's wearing fancy ornaments, and he wears flower decorations. Sometimes he takes his cloth and goes naked and puts his cloth around his head instead of his body. And sometimes, like a little baby, he drinks the milk from the breast of Malini Devi, who's like his mother. Even in their meditation, Shiva and others cannot obtain those lotus feet which are now walking ahead of Jiva Goswami. Following behind, Sri Jiva smeared the dust, because as Nityananda walked, naturally there was dust from his feet. And Jiva kept picking up the dust and putting it all over his body as he was walking behind. So now they entered Sri Jagannath Mishra's house, the Yoga Peeth, the exact place where Mahaprabhu appeared. And Sri Nityananda Prabhu made a submission at Sachi Devi, Mahaprabhu's mother, lotus feet. "Oh, mother, this supremely intelligent jiva." Now remember, when Nityananda and Mahaprabhu were together, Sachi Devi would feed them, have them sit down for prasadam, and she would see them as little young Balaram and Krishna. This supremely intelligent jiva, who is a dear servant of Sri Gauranga, is very fortunate. Upon hearing these words of Nityananda Prabhu, what did he do? He fainted, falling down on the ground like a tree, uprooted in a great storm. Can you imagine that? Like that. Mother Sachi mercifully blessed Sri Jiva. That day they all took prasadam in that very house. Sri Vishnu Priya Devi, who is the widow or the wife of Mahaprabhu, prepared rice, vegetables, and many other. That is, when a husband takes sannyas, then the wife is considered a widow and she wears white, because civilly the husband is now dead because he's renounced and taken sannyas. So she prepared all kinds of dishes on the order of Mother Sachi. After some time, Bangsi Bhadananda Prabhu offered the preparation, he's the pujari, with great attention to Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Ishan Thakur arranged a sitting place and with an extremely joyful heart served prasadam to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Filled with motherly affection, Sachi Devi told Nityananda, "Finally, my son, you are at your mother's house. Now eat with great joy. I have secretly offered this prasadam to Gaurchandra, so if you also affectionately accept it, I will become most happy at heart." Hearing the words of Mother Sachi, Nityananda Prabhu blissfully accepted the prasad, and Jiva Goswami received his remnants. Jiva said, "I am blessed, having taken prasad today in Mahaprabhu's house in Mayapur." And that's where we are now also. After eating, Nityananda Prabhu paid his obeisances to Mother Sachi and begged her permission to leave. As he was leaving, he took Bangsi Bhadananda, Bangsi Vadan Anand, it's a long name. Ananda means taking pleasure. Vadana means on the lips, playing. And Vangsi means flute. So he is none other than an incarnation of Krishna's flute. By his mercy, the flute's mercy, the jivas become attracted to Krishna and become eager to enter the Maharas. Prabhupada was once giving an initiation ceremony in New Vrindavan, and he said, by this initiation, one day you'll be able to enter into the Rasa Lila. Look, Jiva, in this house, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed many pastimes with all of us. Look here. This is Jagannath Mishra's temple deity. Daily, in a steadfast manner, he he would worship Lord Vishnu here. Just see this house where he used to serve guests. Also, take darshan of this platform where he worshipped Tulsi. As long as Mahaprabhu, the maintainer of the devotees, remained at home, he used to follow the behavior shown by his father. Now Ishan Thakur performs all these duties under the guidance of Sri Bangsi Vadananda. In this place there was a great neem tree which disappeared by Mahaprabhu's touch. When Nityananda described these places, he was crying. In the same way, Jiva and Vangsi Vadananda were also crying. So now Srivas Pandit entered, and he also became part of the Parikrama party. Together, the four of them left Jagannath Mishra's house and walked toward Srivas Angam, which is the house of Srivas. In Srivas Angam, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is so great. He's telling exactly which way the house is, how many meters it is, or you call it danus, 200 meters. So everything is known about the 9 islands by the grace of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Who is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Kamala Manjari, one of the most intimate maidservants of Srimati Radhika. Who else is he? Manifestation of Gadadhar Pandit. And who is Gadadhar Pandit? Srimati Radhika herself. And he's not far from us. Only a couple of 100 years. Jiva began to roll on the ground at Srivasangam, and the remembrance of Mahaprabhu's many pastimes came at once. So many things happened at Srivasangam, like he was doing Sankirtan there, and the Nawab's men came and broke the mudranga, and then Mahaprabhu was very angry, and he called for 100,000 men who appeared at once with torches. They went to the Qazi's house, started breaking the house down. The Qazi came down, had a conversation. Well, this, I don't want to get into it too much because that's in the next island, Samantadweep. Then when Jiva got up from fainting, he saw an astonishing sight. Sriman Mahaprabhu was dancing with his intimate devotees. Jiva, another name for Jiva Goswami is Balabha Nandana, the son of Balabha. Isn't Balabha another name of Anupam? Anupam, who's the brother of Rupa and Sanatan, which makes him the nephew of Rupa and Sanatan, who paid for his schooling, made sure he got a good education. Advaitacharya, Nityananda were all dancing together. Gadadhar, Haridas were all dancing and singing. Suklambar and hundreds of other devotees were dancing. Seeing on this, what did he do? Yes. Then, when this vision disappeared, he returned to consciousness. Now nothing was pleasing. Like Prabhupada said, you can tell if somebody thinks that he's Krishna conscious, but he's not disgusted with everything in the material world, and he's not actually Krishna conscious. He like that, with all the material pleasures that he had previously enjoyed. And he was thinking, by Nityananda's mercy, I had the momentary vision of Mahaprabhu and his associates. My desire is that I may reside in this Navadvip forever, because if so, my entanglement with the material world will certainly be finished. And then they go to so many places. They go to Advaita Bhavan. Then they go to Gadadhar Bhavan. Bhavan means house. Then they go to Chaitrapal Shiva. But we're now moving on to Navadvip Dhama Parikrama. And it's going to tell something about this place, Antardvip. What does Antardvip mean? Yeah, it's the internal island. Or it's the place where Lord Chaitanya revealed the internal reasons why he came, why Krishna came to this material world as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who did he reveal it to? He revealed it to Lord Brahma, because Brahma did something very bad. I mean, you know how bad kidnapping is. So Lord Brahma kidnapped not only his calves, but his cowherd friends. But Krishna is a smart thinker, so he immediately knew what to do. First, he thought, well, what are the mothers going to say when their kids don't come home? What are the cows going to say when their calves don't come home? So I will become all of them. And the exact sound of the boys' voices, their exact dress, their exact bodies, their exact instruments like the flute or the bugle, Krishna played. And all the mothers had the opportunity to finally love their children as much as they had previously loved Krishna, because they were now Krishna. So Lord Brahma felt very bad, and he knew that Mahaprabhu was coming to Navadvip. He knew ahead of time. So he performed great austerities to become free from his offenses. And he knew that Lord Chaitanya was very munificent or merciful. So he came to this exact place.
Associates. So there's this idea where Gurudev talks about that there's actually 3 sets of cowherd boys. Maybe not today, but you're talking about that. It just reminded me of that. If you want to speak on that.
Yeah, we could do that. If you can ask Vasanti for the Morning Walks book, because the original inspiration, apparently, for Gurudev to ask for the publication of those walks book is that very lila. So if you can get that, then we can read that. Brahma can't really steal the cowherd boys. Okay, so we'll hear about that tomorrow. So Mahaprabhu was very satisfied with Lord Brahma's worship, and so he appeared before him. This is before his appearance. He appeared to many devotees before his appearance, but he told them not to reveal anything until his disappearance. So Brahmaji begged forgiveness for his offense and asked for a boon. Imagine begging for forgiveness and asking for a boon in the same breath. When you exhibit your pastimes in this world, please arrange for me to take a very low birth, because now I'm Brahma and I'm so puffed up that I'm the chief demigod of all demigods. I'm the secondary creator of the universe. I'm so powerful. Hare Krishna, welcome. What's your name? Krishna Das. Nice to have you. Come in. Are you initiated? I didn't think so. Okay. From that yoga? Great. Okay, nice to meet you. Okay. So when you exhibit your pastimes, could you explain or whisper to him what we're doing? Okay. So make me born in a low-class family so that I'll be very humble, very modest, and I'll feel that I'm very wretched. And that's exactly how Srila Haridas Thakur felt. Haridas Thakur is Prahlad Maharaj, incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj, and Lord Brahma also entered him. So he's two in one. And he was always thinking he's low and wretched. Mahaprabhu then granted him that boon. And he said, you will take birth in a Muslim family and serve me by preaching and loudly chanting the holy names of Hari. I will appear in the form of Gauranga, because I'm Krishna, but I will appear in the form of Gauranga, having accepted the complexion and the mood of my beloved Sri Radha, for the purpose of fulfilling my three special internal desires. What are they? What is the nature of Radharani's love that drives me mad and controls me? What is it about me that Radharani relishes more than anybody, even more than me? I'm supposed to know myself, but I don't know myself or relish my pastimes, my flute playing, my praying, as much as she can, my qualities. And what is the happiness that she feels that's 10 million times greater than mine? To fulfill these desires which I could not fulfill as Krishna, I took her, just took this name, Goda Hari, who steals the mood and complexion of Srimati Radhika, is actually it's like a misnomer, because Radharani is Krishna's embodiment of his 6 opulences. One of his 6 opulences is knowledge. He's all-knowing. And she's the embodiment of his knowledge. So she's too smart that he should steal that from her. So he had to beg her. And she said, yes, I'll lend it to you, but I'm going to have to come with you as who? As Gadadhar, to help you play my role. And I'm going to have to bring my friends, Lalita and Vishaka, who will be who? Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda. They will also help you. Because, as you know, they sang appropriate verses and songs, self-written songs, and also Shastric verses to bring out Mahaprabhu's mood. One more time. Yeah. Please take the mic.
In this particular paragraph there, first it said accepted, and then it said took. And then according to our conception, or what we understand from what you just said, we took in one way and we took accepted in another way. And I've always been very confused because I have heard many very learned people say, and then you mentioned Hari, stole, one who steals. So could you just go just one more layer down and explain, is this Ras or is
Took
it
means
Tattva?
assumed. Took means assumed. He assumed the position of Srimati Radhika. Didn't mean that he took without her awareness. And what was the other thing you said?
Well, just one more, because the second part of this was because a lot of times when we come up to these types of things, Gurudev said we have to reconcile. Sometimes it's Ras, sometimes it's Tattva, sometimes it's a different manifestation of the whole cosmic situation. And so it's really difficult when a person insists, no, it's stole, it's stole, it's stole. And then what do you know? So could you give some very, very something conclusive that it could be both or it could be only one?
In Wales, Gurudev gave this lecture that I'm quoting now in 2000 or 2001, how she's too astute that he could steal from her. This is going to Tattva. And then, yeah, you can see it any way you want.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Mother Sachi resides here at the Yoga Pit. Mother Sachi, just like who had miscarriages? Devaki, not miscarriage, but her children were killed by Kamsa as soon as they were born. So Sachi Mata, what happened to her? She had miscarriages. Or they died at birth. Just like Devaki's children died at birth at the hands of Kamsa. So she had 8 daughters. And then finally she gave birth to an astonishing personality, a son, who is Visvarup. That's Mahaprabhu's older brother. And then she gave birth to Mahaprabhu. So who is Visvarup? Visvarup is a plenary portion of Nityananda Prabhu. So he left home at an early age and took sannyas. And then after some time, he left his body. And so when he left his body, because he's a plenary portion of Nityananda Prabhu, he merged back into Nityananda Prabhu. Just like in Krishna Lila, Baladev was the 7th pregnancy of Devaki. And one of his names is Sankarshan, which means to attract. So he was attracted about 6 months in. He was attracted to the womb of Rohini. Rohini is the mother of Baladev in Braj, in Vrindavan. She's also the wife of Vasudev. So when she was visiting the jail, that's when she was impregnated with the full Baladev, because she's a Brajbasi. And then Devaki was impregnated with a partial manifestation of Baladev, who then at 6 months merged into Rohini's womb. So similarly, Nityananda Prabhu's partial expansion is Visvarup, who merged back into him when he disappeared from the vision of the world. Yes?
I always thought that Rohini was a wife of Nanda Baba because Baladev was raised and grown up in Vrindavan. So how did that happen?
I don't know all the details except that when Kamsa was doing his atrocities, many of the Yadavas fled and went here and there. And she went to the
Who's she?
Rohini, went to the house to take shelter of Nanda and Jashoda. So she is like the mother she is not the wife of Nanda, but very close. But then she left, and she went to Dwarka. That's described very vividly in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And so the queens, when Narada was looking for who's the most dear to Krishna, who's the greatest recipient of Krishna's mercy, Narada went to the queens in his travels, and he said, "Oh, you are the most greatest recipient." And then they were saying, "You have no idea how undear we are to Krishna. Even when he sleeps in our bed at night, he wets the whole pillow or the whole bed, calling out not only to his mother, Jashoda, not only to his friends, not only to the gopis, but to the cows. Oh, Shamali, Davali,
He wets the bed with tears.
the
not-
tears of
not urine.
separation." Yeah. So then they asked Rohini, because they know that she lived in Vrindavan for so many years, what is it about that place that Krishna loves them all more than he loves us? Nobody's really as opulent or beautiful as us. What does he see in them? They have some, what do you call those black and red little berries? Gunja berries and few flowers. They're not opulent like us. What is it? And then Rohini began telling about the glories of the gopis and the friends and why Krishna loves them so much. Because their love is not divided. The queen's love is divided into all of their kids, 10 sons, 1 daughter, household maidservants, so many duties. But in Braj they had no duty. They left their duties. Okay. So here in Andhradweep, he manifested his he revealed the 4 reasons why he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 2 internal, does anybody not know? Anybody not know? Doesn't know because he's new. So, and I don't think George knows either. So, 2 internal reasons, 2 external reasons. Internal reasons is primary internal, secondary internal. Primary external, secondary external. Primary internal is to fulfill these 3 desires that I just mentioned. Primary external is to distribute Ragmarg or Raganuga Bhakti. Secondary internal means to himself, like what he wanted to taste, or why for himself. It's because Advaitacharya prayed for him to come. Advaitacharya, who's Mahavishnu, prayed and said, if you don't come now, the world is in such a mess that I'm going to destroy it, because he's, after all, Mahavishnu. And secondary external, to distribute the Yuga Dharma, which is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. So I asked Sripad Madhav Maharaj, for one of you who asked me, in other Kali Yugas, what is the Yuga Dharma? Is it Hare Krishna or is it some other mantra or what? And he said, it's always Hare Krishna, but that Hare Krishna could only take people, say, to Vaikuntha. But with his addition of the Braj Ras that he added to the mantra, the mantra contains it, but he revealed that. So one can have Braj Bhakti and Gopi Bhav with that Hare Krishna mantra. Not without a mic.
Based upon that beautiful statement you just made, So does that mean even
Mic means up to the mouth.
does that mean that even within the present day Hare Krishna, Vaikuntha is also can be given?
If somebody's not following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he's chanting Hare Krishna, he can get any other lower status. But then it doesn't mean that it's his swarup. He can move on in future lives.
Thank you.
So then Srila Gurudev is explaining Mahaprabhu's very, very baby pastimes and then his young pastimes. Like with his baby pastimes, whenever he cried and people would chant the Hare Krishna mantra, he would stop. So he would cry just to get them to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And he appeared on the full moon day when millions of people were at the Ganges River chanting Hare Krishna. Because there was a full moon day. Was it an eclipse also? So therefore everyone went to the Ganges and was chanting for auspiciousness. And so he came when everyone was chanting. Everyone was singing Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Then his childhood, he was very restless, and we can also read about this in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just like Krishna, in the house of Jagannath Mishra once, he caught a snake and proceeded to play with it. But who is this snake? None other than Anantadev, who acts as the couch and umbrella of Lord Vishnu, and who holds planets on his hoods. So that's who he was playing with. Another time, some thieves wanted to kidnap him, like today, because they wanted to get his jewelry. So he very happily climbed up on their shoulders, and they were roaming around, and by his will, they came back to his house. So he got to have a ride. On Ekadasi day, he begged for the food that was being offered to the deity in the house of a devotee. What devotee? Hiranya and Jagadish. And one time a brahmana came to his house, and Jagannath Mishra gave him the ingredients so that he could cook and make an offering to his Gopal deity. So which he did, but since Mahaprabhu is Gopal, he came right to the spot and started eating. And the brahmana became upset, and he complained to Jagannath Mishra. And Jagannath Mishra said, "It's okay, I'll make sure he doesn't come," but he came again. Then he locked him up, and still he came again. But this time, he revealed his six-armed form to this brahmana. And he said, "But don't tell anybody." Who was he? He was Lord Vishnu, he was Krishna, was it? And Ramchandra. Then when he got older, he became a student, and at the school of Gangadas Pandit, in his school. But before that, before he went to school, he would go and pick up his older brother, Visvarup, from school. And so Advaitacharya, he was teaching. And Mahaprabhu, that is little Nimai, he glanced at Advaitacharya in a very mesmerizing way, as if to tell him, and he was telling him by his glance, because Advaitacharya was mesmerized by seeing him. You don't recognize me? You called for me. But don't worry, one day you'll realize who I am. There's so many ghats in Antardvip. In one of the ghats, which ghat was that? He smashed the pride of one wandering Digvijaya. Barakona Ghat. He was teaching his students Shri Radharaman Bihari Ji Ki Jai. What is the name of the Digvijay? Keshava Kashmiri. So he was wandering everywhere in India. And the Pandits of Navadvip didn't want to deal with him. So they said, we have a special scholar here named Nimai Pandit. Best if you go to him and challenge him. Because they figured he's just a boy. If this scholar wins with a boy, so what? And if he loses, it's a great victory for Navadvip. They didn't expect what happened. So he was famous for defeating scholars all over India. Navadvip was known as an important center of learning. So he was particularly in the Smritis and the Puranas and the Shrutis, so he was particularly eager to defeat them there. So, not going into too many details, Mahaprabhu honored him when he came, and he said, "Oh, you're such a great scholar. Can you please recite verses about the Ganges?" And so instantly, like just making it up, instantly he uttered 100 verses in glorification of the Ganges. So Mahaprabhu said, "Very good. Now can you tell me 5 good qualities about..." He himself had such a memory, of course, because he's responsible for everybody else's memory. From me come knowledge and remembrance and forgetfulness. So he said, okay, here's your 50th verse right from the center. He repeated the verse and he said, can you tell me 5 good qualities about this verse and 5 mistakes? He said, of course, there are so many good qualities, but there are no mistakes in there. So Mahaprabhu named many good qualities, and then he named the mistakes. There was some kind of redundancy that didn't make sense. So he was flabbergasted that how could this little boy defeat me? So he went home, and Mahaprabhu said, go home and we can talk more tomorrow. So he went home and he started speaking to his worshipful deity, Saraswati, the goddess of learning. How could he defeat me? I was so embarrassing. And she said, how could I allow you to defeat my husband, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Better you go and surrender to him. So because she was his worshipful deity, that happened. He went the next day and surrendered to Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu said, defeating others is not the purpose of knowledge, acquiring knowledge. The purpose is to expound the glories of the Lord. And then what happened in Nagariya Ghat in Antardvip? Yes, when he was a student, he would be bathing in the Ganges with his friends, and he would take the water from the Ganges, and then the brahmanas were saying their mantras and being so clean, and he would take the water into his mouth and then spit it all over the brahmanas. And so they became so angry, and they rebuked him. And then on top of that, they went to Jagannath Mishra to complain. So naturally, Nimai knows how to get out of trouble. So he put ink on his shirt to show that he hadn't bathed or washed it or anything. He was just coming from school. So Jagannath Mishra was ready to rebuke him, but he saw he was all dry. He'd never been in the Ganges, and so he didn't say anything. Just like when Krishna would steal butter and yogurt from the neighbors' houses, and they would come to Mother Yasoda to complain. Why did they go to Mother Yasoda to complain? They also rebuked him, but she was home, and she didn't experience all these stealing pastimes. So in the name of complaining, they were really wanted to share with her all these wonderful pastimes that they had with Krishna. Like, for example, he went to one house and put his hand in the butter pot. And then she said, the neighbor said, "Yes, I've caught you red-handed, stealing my butter." "Mother, I was not stealing your butter." "Well, what were you doing then?" "Well, my father gave me this little calf, and my calf got lost, and I just thought he might be in your butter." And then he pulled out this little marble calf. "All right then, then how come your mouth is full of butter?" He said, "Well, the monkeys really were fooling around with your butter and yogurt, but they wanted to look like it was me, so they smeared it all over my mouth." So and she burst out laughing, and that gave him the opportunity to run away. So similarly, the Brahmins came to Jagannath Mishra. They were chanting their mantras, offering water to the sun, and then they angrily rebuked him because what was he doing? Let me see from back. On the way home from school, he would stop by Nagariya Ghat and tell the young girls, all these stories are, not stories, pastimes, all these pastimes are elaborately explained, revealed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a very good book to read. So the girls were worshipping Lord Shiva, Shiva Linga, to get a good husband. So they said, "Look, if you worship me, because I'm actually God, if you worship me, then you'll get all these beautiful young husbands. But if you don't, then you're going to get all these old husbands who had so many wives before, and you're not going to be happy." So just to please him, they gave him all the sweets that he wanted, just because he was, just because they liked him. Not that they thought he was God, because in Navadvip, nobody thinks that Mahaprabhu is God. So he would do that with the young girls. Then he blessed the girls who worshipped his feet, that their future husbands would be handsome, pleasant, wealthy, and respected. And he threatened the others, as I mentioned, husbands who were crippled and poor. Sometimes while taking bath, he would, as I mentioned, splash water or spit on the brahmanas. Angered upon hearing the complaints of the brahmanas and the young girls, they all went and complained. Is he going? Can you give him... Wait, give him some stuff to take. You were just passing by? Okay. But you have to take presents before you go. That's the rule here. What? What do you say? Oh, right. So Haridas has that for you in the boutique. Okay. Right. So Jagannath Mishra went to the ghat with a stick in his hand. But he was unable to find Nimai because he had taken another path. Nimai had told the boys to inform his father that he had gone straight home from school. Shri Radharaman Bihari Jeev Ki Jai. And he smeared dust on himself to show that he never took bath. And he sprinkled drops of ink on himself to show that he never took bath in the Ganges. So when Jagannath Mishra arrived back at his house, he saw the dust and the ink on Nimai's body and the expression of pure innocence on his face, just like when the neighbors complained to Mother Yasoda and she was about to punish him, but she saw he looked so sweet and smiley, so then she couldn't do anything. Another thing that happened at Nagariya Ghat was that Sachi Devi was looking for a perfect wife for her son Nimai. And so it was at Nagariya Ghat that she saw and fell in love with Vishnu Priya and decided, I want her as my son's wife. Okay, and where else? What other ghat? What other ghat? There's Ganga Nagara. What happened there? Huh? What does that mean? Well, Ganga Nagara is in in Antardweep. It was in Gaya, I believe, where he met Ishvara Puri and took Harinam. And also he got the mantra. Not only Nam, but the mantra. So that's where Gangadas Pandit is teaching. See you soon, I hope. Did he tell you about Friday night? Sunday morning? Okay, because Sunday morning we have a lot of people come, a lot of guests. We have the kirtan, Q&A, and a big feast at the end, starting at 11:30. Hope to see you. Huh? Yeah. Your guru's name is Shiva Nand, and this is Shiva Nanda too. Hare Krishna. They all went to Shiva Sangam, where as we mentioned, the drum was broken. Here in Shiva Sangam, what happened? Lord Chaitanya revealed his form as Lord Nrsingadev. When Shiva's Pandit's son left his body, Mahaprabhu brought the son back to life. And he said, so you want to come back? Said, no, I'm in a better place now. What was that better place? He was in Krishna's pastimes. And the boy started preaching. No one is anyone's son, brother, friend, or parent. These relationships are all false. And they cause pain and sorrow, yes?
How could Krishna's pastimes be better than Guru's pastimes? Aren't they the same?
They are the same. At the same time, Gurudev was saying today, if you can pray to Vrindavan and Braj is non-different from Navadvip, why go to Vrindavan? And so he said, is there any Jamuna or Govardhan or these other pastime places in Navadvip? No. So they're the same and yet not the same. And Mahaprabhu also wanted to go to Vrindavan. And also what happened here, where we are now. Oh my God, I'm so crazy. We forgot to bow down at each place. Okay, let's retrace our steps. You know how there's backtrack, and you know how you go, if you make a movie in fast reel, and the person's going backwards. So let's stop for a moment at Sachi's house. Let's offer our obeisances, roll in the dust here, take the dust on our head, our eyelids, our tongue, and our heart. Then let's go to Nagariya Ghat, where Mahaprabhu threw the water, teased the girls. Let's roll in the dust here, take the dust on our, not only the dust, let's take the Ganges water on our head, eyes, tongue, heart. And what's the other ghat we went to? Bardakona Ghat, where Mahaprabhu made that foolish scholar surrender to him. And where else did we go? We went there. We bowed. That's where we are now. And so now that we're here, let's not have to backtrack later. Let's roll in the dust here at Srivasangam, one of the main assistants of Mahaprabhu in his pastimes. And who is Srivas Thakur? Narada Muni. And who else is he? Madhu Mangal, Krishna's cowherd friend. So after Mahaprabhu, did you want to say something? After Mahaprabhu went to Gaya and got Harinam, he came back here. And here at Srivasangam, he sat on Lord Vishnu's throne for 21 days. And various devotees of various incarnations were worshipping him. And he got a sacred bathing ceremony here. And Mother Sachi, I know this sounds funny, but she received prem here because Mahaprabhu told her, I cannot give you prem because you offended Advaita Acharya. Why? Because Advaita Acharya, what? He's actually...
He's Dvaita.
Actually, he's Dvaita because he separated my son, Visvarup, from me by teaching him renunciation. So now you have to go and bow down to Advaita Acharya if you want me to give you prem. So she was about to bow down, but then he bowed down to her. And he said, you could never commit any offenses. You're the mother of the universe. And here at Srivasangam, he showed Nityananda Prabhu his six-armed form. They did Sankirtan for 1 year straight at night. And this is when Gopal Chapal was so envious because he wasn't allowed in because he's a non-devotee. So he put paraphernalia for Durga worship in front of his door so that everyone would think that he secretly worshipped Durga, Kali. So then Srivas came out of his house in the morning and he said, "Look, everybody come and see. This is what I actually do when no one's looking." So because Krishna is in everyone's heart, the people said, "Who has done this to Srivas Thakur? Put these paraphernalia here." And we expect whoever asked that question about why is the sun in a better place. Actually, Gurudev explained that in Badger, that he said, "I'm in Krishna Lila now," because we, as we're progressing hopefully we're progressing to Vrindavan, but first we take birth in Chaitanya Lila, and then Krishna Lila. And we take birth not going back in time, but having the association of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then Narottam Das Thakur, like that, as we get more advanced. So then they went to Advaita Bhavan, who's none other than Mahavishnu. Yeah, and again, he taught Visvarup about Gita, Bhagavatam, and that made him want to be renounced. Then, okay, let's offer obeisances here. Oh, here, let's go here. Let's see where we are. This is Advaita Bhavan, and this is Shiva Sangam, where the Madanga was broken. Kol Bangada Danga, the place where the Madanga was broken. And tomorrow when we go to Samantadweep, we'll find out what happened to the poor Kazi after he did that. Oh, and now we are at, just walking. We're at Gadadhar Bhavan. And Gadadhar, all of these other devotees, they were quote-unquote devotees before Nimai became a devotee. And he would stalk them and then challenge them in logic and any subject that wasn't a bhakti subject. And although they had good arguments, he always smashed them. And so they would try to avoid him. They'd see him, they'd want to go the other way. And so gradually they developed great respect for him because he could defeat anybody in any field of knowledge. And so they were thinking, so Gadadhar Pandit was thinking, he's such a great person. If only he would become a devotee, then he would become perfect. And then also later, when Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri, tasting the moods of Radharani, he already did in Navadvip, but it was more concealed because he was performing Naravat Lila, or Lila as an ordinary human. Again, when he went to Puri, he didn't leave Navadvip. Only 8 went, or 9 went, but 10 9, 8 still stayed in Navadvip. So anyway, when he went to Jagannath Puri, because Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani herself, appearing in a male form, he would listen to explanations of Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit at the Tota Gopinath Mandir in Puri. There's like, let's say I'm in the temple and I walk out of the temple and there's a garden on the right side. Tota means garden. So in that garden, Mahaprabhu would bring so many associates and they would all hear the Bhagavatam from Gadadhar. Because when he would sing Radharani's verses, like from Venu Geet or Gopi Geet or others, he could give the deepest explanation of her feelings. And then so many devotees have their homes here in Navadvip, where we are now, like Swarup Damodar, Jagadananda Pandit, and then Chandrasekhar Bhavan. We're really speeding along. But we didn't offer our obeisances at Gadadhar Bhavan. So let's do that. And at the home of Swarup Damodar, Jagadananda Pandit. And you could read about them here. And then Chandrasekhar Bhavan, we're also going there, which is now Sri Chaitanya Mat. Oh my goodness, there's so many places we never went to yet. Should we continue? Because we want to finish by 8:30. Should we continue Antadweep and then just go right on to Samantadweep tomorrow? Right, so where are we staying then? We're staying at Keshavji Gaudiya Mat. What, Vasanti? Huh? We can sleep in Mayapur? Where? Huh? What? You want to stay in Maharaj's Mat? In Mayapur? What's that called? Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Mat. Right? Huh? You said yes? Gopinath Gaudiya Mat in Mayapur? That's the name of his mat? Oh. He left his mat. Okay, why don't you just roam for a while and just stay wherever you like. There's so many different mutts. And then we'll meet tomorrow at Keshavji Gaudiya Mat, because we have to all assemble together. And from there, we'll come back to Mayapur, because we have fast ways of traveling. All right, so I'm going to end here, and I'm going to ask if there's any questions or comments. Oh, we came to Chaitanya Mat, we came to Chandrasekhar Bhavan, but we didn't offer our obeisances. That was bad of me. So let's roll on the ground. Chandrasekhar Acharya is very close and intimate with Mahaprabhu. He's also known as Acharya Ratna, or the jewel of acharyas, of great personalities. He, in this place where we are now, I don't know if I showed it to you, where we are now, this is Chaitanya Mat, at that very place. At this place was the first dramatic performance, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu played Rukmini danced and acted as Rukmini. So in the whole history of Bengal, this place is the place that the first drama was performed. In 1918, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he built a mutt here called Chaitanya Mutt at this very location. Now, this is the original mutt, original Gaudiya mutt. Like we say that every day. What do we say? Sri Chaitanya Mutt ki jai, Ora Ananya Saka Mutt Samuha ki jai. Samuha means like a big bunch of so many branches. Saka means branch. Ora Ananya. And then there's so many other Ora Ananya, Sakamat, branch mutts, Sakamat, Samuha, Ki Jai. But this is the original at this very location. There's so many branches, sub-branches of the Gaudiya mutts, actually all over the world, like here too. This is a branch of Gaudiya mutt. And then, what did Gurudev say? He said, the following words of Mahaprabhu, Antakanda of Chaitanya Bhagavat, are meaningful in all respects. From this very place that we are now, Sri Chaitanya Mutt. And here it is from a little bit of a distance. We're stepping backwards. Okay, what is that verse? Pritivite paryanta yata ache desha gram sarvatra sanchara hoiveka moranam. My holy name will be broadcast in every town and village on the earth planet. It's a very, very important place we are. Tomorrow we'll be going to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi Mandir, where Radhakund and Shamakund are, or Guru Garanga Gandharvika Girihari are, where Gorkashore Das Babaji Maharaj is, where Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur is. So many places in Antardweep. In Samantadweep, it won't take that much time. So hopefully we'll be able to cover, very short actually, we'll be able to complete our parikrama of Antardweep, and also we'll be able to complete our parikrama of Samantadweep tomorrow. Okay, no questions? Okay, Gaur Premanandi, Shri Navadvip Dhama Parikrama ki jai, Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Nityananda Mahaprabhu ki jai, Gaur Premanandi. Panchakopatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We did the first day. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,